Hey, this is the World Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is an important message I have for Black people. So for this video, I will discuss this important message that is something we need to be very cautious of, as well as something, of course, we need to be very wary of. And what exactly is that? What it exactly is something I refer to as a weaponization of entertainment. Okay, so for this video, I'll explain exactly what the weaponization of entertainment is, alongside why it is something we should be concerned about, as well as, of course, what we can do to prevent this from happening to us. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So now that we're getting started, the question, of course, comes up is what exactly is the weaponization of entertainment? The weaponization of entertainment is using entertainment as a way to manipulate people. Okay, that is exactly what the weaponization of entertainment is. Okay, to be even more specific, it's using pleasure as a way to control people. So, when it comes to the weaponization of entertainment, expanded further detail, what it exactly is, when it comes to how it can be used as a way to control people, it comes to down to three main categories. Okay, manipulation, distraction, and humiliation. Those are the three basic principles of the weaponization of entertainment. Whether it's done intentionally or unintentionally, these are the things that would, of course, or I should say, of course, are an effect of the weaponization of entertainment. So now let me explain exactly what these three things are and how they all relate to the weaponization of entertainment. Okay, or I should say, how they can be used to control people. So the first one, of course, is manipulation. When it comes to the weaponization of entertainment, since we are all as human beings are designed to look forward to pleasure and enjoy pleasure, for that matter, in all honesty, and if we try to prevent ourselves from pleasure, it would, of course, make us feel very uncomfortable. In other words, bored. You know, so of course we can only go so long without any form of pleasure, without, of course, getting tired of it and getting bored and, of course, binging. And of course, one of the things that because of that factor related to human beings is that, I should say, can be used to control us with, of course, the weaponization of entertainment is manipulation. Now, what manipulation is when it comes to weaponization of entertainment is using entertainment as a way um, to manipulate people, whether it is TV shows, movies, music, you name it. Um, this is definitely something that is definitely used in entertainment. Okay, whether and when it comes to what exactly it is, it would be things like, for example, promoting lifestyles that might not necessarily be the greatest, like homosexuality, bisexuality, and so on and so forth, that make people feel uncomfortable, to other things as well, like maybe ways of seeing the world that might not necessarily be the greatest ways of seeing the world, that might not be something that, of course, is something you want to, of course, see the world in that way, to, of course, promoting propaganda, and so on and so forth. Like, for example, America, for example, might be this nice nation that hasn't done anything evil, and so on and so forth. That is the truth of the matter, um, of the manipulation part of the weaponization of entertainment. Since entertainment is something, as I was getting at before, that we as human beings, especially in a modern day age, um, are something that we can't live without. Manipulation is something that definitely can be used in entertainment, because we can only go so long without entertainment. Just like, how long can you go out without watching TV or listen to music? Most people in the everyday world, not even most people, the vast majority of people would go insane. So at some point, you're going to have to not only consume this media, you're going to have to consistently consume this media. Okay, and in the process, the more you're exposed to the manipulation part of the weaponization of entertainment, in other words, propaganda, it will at some point start changing you. Okay, whether it could be consciously or subconsciously, it will start changing you. Okay, because when it comes to, let's just say, for example, the subconscious part, you know Just like when you sometimes listen to a song enough, you sometimes just repeat the lyrics without even thinking much about it. The truth of the matter is, it's no different when it comes to um, you know, manipulation. It's exactly the same thing. If you're just listening to something all the time, or watching something all the time, and it's putting a constant message in your head about this particular thing over and over and over again, subconsciously, you are more prone to start thinking and believing that precise thing, of course, is true, and is something that, of course, you know, should not be questioned. As well as consciously, it presents information in your head, whether it comes to something like homosexuality and so on and so forth, consciously in your head, that makes you start, of course, thinking, okay, maybe there's nothing wrong with this lifestyle. When you actually look at it, there's a lot of things wrong with that lifestyle. Or whether it's homosexuality or anything, it's a way to push propaganda that can be used as a way to manipulate people to be more likely to believe it. Okay, and not just believe it, but actually believe it as a undenying fact that this particular thing that is being presented to, that is actually true, is actually correct. And that's one of the first symptoms of the weaponization of entertainment, is a manipulation part. The second part, of course, is a distraction part. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, if you are part of a group of people like black people that have been humiliated for God knows how long, and they're still being treated badly, especially in certain parts of the United States and so on and so forth. If you want to have a revolution, like for example, like let's start having protests, let's start boycotting, so on and so forth, those things take a lot of time. And sometimes during those periods of time, you're applying those things, it can also get extremely boring and tiresome, okay? But if you have something that's meant to distract you, of course, no surprise, it makes it more likely not only will you kind of forget the things that you had on your mind, as well, it will prevent you from being able to dedicate as much time to dedicating it to doing the things that you're supposed to do, in order to make this thing change. And that is exactly what the distraction part of the weaponization of entertainment is supposed to do. It's supposed to prevent people from ever truly uprising or ever truly getting sick and tired of the situation that they're in because they're too distracted to really do anything. Like, why do I want to put up my effort into, you know, um, protesting against police brutality and so on and so forth, or just in general putting in an effort of learning how to boycott certain businesses and stuff, when then when the next episode of my favorite series is going to be showing next week. You see what I'm saying? It's a way to distract people, okay? And it's very effective on a lot of individuals. Maybe not everyone, but it definitely is very effective, more effective than you could imagine. And that's the second part of the weaponization of entertainment. The third part, when it comes to the weaponization of entertainment, that definitely is true, is it humiliates individuals. Because the truth of the matter is, when it comes to humiliating individuals, it is very, very, very good at doing that. Okay, whether it comes down to something like having an entertainer who's a very successful entertainer but hates your people, you know and also not just a very successful entertainer who's made some really good music that you've listened to over a huge period of time, but they also turn out to hate your people with a divine passion. A lot of people would still listen to that person's music. And the more you listen to that stuff, or even artists who've said so and so stuff about your people, let's just say black people, they hate our asses, but they made good ass quality music and stuff. The more you look at that stuff and consume that stuff, the more it makes you hate yourself even more. Okay? Whether they're consciously or subconsciously, or just in general, both. It makes you hate yourself even more. Because obvious common sense would indicate, why do I want to support something that is made by someone who hates me and my people? That's common sense. But if you are consuming that media and you don't have any other options, and they made such good stuff, then it makes it more likely you'll still consume it, which will promote self-hatred. It's like, for example, in school, being friends with someone who just in general, has mistreated you and put you down all the freaking time, but you still hang around them because they're an interesting person. That's not good for anyone's self-esteem. Us, and it's no different in a situation like this. So that's exactly what the weaponization of entertainment is and why it's so deadly. So now the question becomes, what can we do to prevent this from happening? The first thing we need to do is to expand our entertainment, our entertainment in general, black entertainment, to many different topics instead of just talking about the hood and the ghetto. Um, and when it comes to things like music, which I'll just use music as an example, but this can be applied to any form of entertainment, is expanding on the topics, or I should say the amount of ideas we come up with. As black music historically gets very boring and tedious and repetitive over time, as it uses the same chords, the same melodies, the same topics over and over again. So you want to diversify it, okay, if anything. So that is the truth about how you can resist the weaponization of entertainment, and that is the simple truth, and hopefully someone listens to this message. So this is my video, and this is all to say. I hope you learned something new, and this is it. Simply put it, I'm out. Bye.